first thing I want to kind of do for the viewers is to kind of have a definition from each of you, kind of a short definition of what does engineering manager mean and what does product manager mean. So I guess let's hear from you first, Brittany.
Yeah, so I agree with you, Chris. I think there can be so many different ways to define engineering manager, but to me, I feel like the engineering manager has three duties. The first is to make sure to prioritize and have the right person working on the right thing, setting deadlines, getting that estimate and architecture in place, making sure design and product are in place. To me, engineering is one of the most expensive resources that you have. And so my job is to minimize any sort of wasted time there. So the second one is also being that person who's cross-functional. And so you're the one who's probably communicating with the different teams, around deadlines, customers affected, release schedule, all of those kinds of things. And then also part of that cross-functional part is, hey, that feature that you wrote, it's doing really well and it made us a ton of money. You should probably tell the engineers. Like, I want to complete that feedback cycle.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
And then the last one is mentorship. So I'm doing one-on-ones with all of these engineers, and it's wild to me that I mentor and am the manager of people that are crazy talented. Like, they're able to write code in a way that I never will be able to write code. And so it's been definitely an imposter syndrome thing for me.
Yeah.
But it's my job to make sure that these very talented engineers know which track that they're on, whether or not they're going the manager track or they're going that IC track, just making sure that they feel supported and give them immediate feedback when they need to adjust, how things are going.
What is an IC track?
Yeah, so the individual contributor track.
Okay.
And that's a good question, Creston, because I think for so long companies didn't have this. We ended up with so many developers who were managers because they thought it was the only way to grow. And so I want to be so clear to my engineers that, like, if you love to code and you want to code the rest of your life, it can be extremely lucrative and you can have a really fulfilling career.
Yeah, we have that at Shift 4 too. You can do a management track or an IC track.
It's also okay to change your mind, because I've seen developers go down one track and they're like, I need to switch.
Yeah. So, Josh, product manager, what would you define that as?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm kind of at the next of a lot of things. I'm trying to find that balance between the business need, the customer need, and then like what engineering can practically do in like a period of time that delivers some value. So I'm always trying to find like a little bit, like the largest and also smallest increment of value we can deliver at a certain time. At Texas specifically, also kind of do a lot of other things. We work with SMS providers to get messages delivered. That's almost another stakeholder to take into account because they have requirements around like regulations and spamming and all sorts of stuff. So taking all that into account, and then like making sure the product is good at the end of the day for the users, that the features work the way they want it to. I think that's how I would define the role I do right now.
Okay, cool. So really, kind of, Brittany, you're a bit closer to the engineers, and
Yes.
Josh, you're a bit closer to the customers, but there's a lot of overlap between there. And especially those two, what I'm hearing is that you guys end up having to work a lot together in the middle of that to make sure things are functional for the other sides of your respective priorities.
Yeah, I would agree to that, Chris. And, you say that Josh is close to the customer. He's close to everybody. And that kind of lends well into like how Josh came into this role, because it's an interesting one. And it kind of explains like how he is able to communicate with everybody so well.
If you like this clip and want to watch another one, you can click right here. Or if you want to watch the full video, you can click here.